There it is. And now we're going to sit here and record the vlog. I went finally to Africa in 2024, November this was. My father hunted for 51 years of his life. He always dreamt and desired to go to Africa. He died. I went to Africa. The name of this is In the Hunter's Footstep. So I'm just trying to continue the journey from one generation to another. He couldn't, but I was blessed. And thanks to Javed Bhai, I landed in Africa. But before this, what happened? Watch this. Now I was out of Pakistan for almost, I'd say, 2004, like almost 20 odd years. For me, when I was leaving UK, this was the temperature. And as you can see, the house, absolutely freezing. I mean, snow all over, -3, -4, above and below. And I was going to end up in this part of the world where it was 39 plus barren red sands, like part of more or less like Kalahari's, with even the trees, like Gary said, designed to kill. So this is how the difference was. So before we go further, I just need to give you a bit of an idea about the characters of this hunt, because I want you to know every single person step by step, who is who and what we were up to. Javed Bhai has been hunting for a very long time, I think 30 odd years of his life, but some of the hunts, as you can see in the background now, hunting like the big fives and, some of the big fives like the lions and, different types of deers, and like for hunting in Africa, hunting in Asia, hunting in Europe, I believe we have to go to Australia at some point in time as well. But there are quite a few hunt in line. But this was just to give you an idea. As you can see the pictures of the different species he's been hunting. So it's not the first time. Secondly, we don't class ourselves as pure trophy hunters. For us, hunt is a hunt, the right animal, whatever it is, bang, enjoy, and there's a process to it. There's no such thing as pleasure and luxury hunt. There's always means to a hunt, an explanation. It's not just being ruthless. This is Gary. So when I met Gary the first time, this was the first time I met him in the hunt. And when I met him, I see this guy with spin sar. There was nothing on the head, belly, and I was just like, Javed Bhai, do I really need to carry this man, in the deserts of, Africa? And is he fit to hunt? Boy, was I wrong. I mean, he was one of the fittest in the group, to be honest, when it came to the boiling temperatures. I was very wrong, and I underestimated Gary, but you will see that through the hunt as well. So that was another, brilliant character. Without Gary, I'm telling you, this hunt purely would have been completely black and white. Gary, a South African born, hunting from a very young age, 10, 11, 12. I mean, you can imagine, like 40, 50 years back, 40. Gary, I'm not giving your age away though. When you go back and you've been hunting in Africa from age of 10, 11, 12. So he knew so much that you'll be surprised. He used to tell me along the lines, along the way, day by day, I said, don't touch this, don't touch this, don't, this is the tree, this is this. He knew the name of every single thing that was poisonous, non-poisonous. And I like when he said to me that, in Africa, even the trees are designed to kill you. So I learned a lot from Gary, and that was a bit about Gary as well. Now the journey goes on, and obviously from Heathrow to Addis Ababa and Ethiopia, and then from there we go to Zimbabwe, Victoria Falls. Now Victoria Falls, I never knew that existed, to be honest. You hear the name, but this is more or less something like in Canada, Niagara Falls, and it's if not as beautiful, it is very beautiful. Like gorgeous is the right word, in a very scenic way. Far more better, I believe, far more organic, and very less people around there as well. Far more organic, that's right. In Victoria Airport, Victoria Falls, and I'm having a drone, because obviously when you go for these type of hunts, you take a drone. I did my research. I picked up the one which was kind of the lightest possible, which I can film all over the world with. And if I travel, somehow they picked it up through when your luggage is passing by, the scanners or whatever. This guy approaches us and he goes, do you have drones? And I said to him, do you have anything in these bags? And I said, I was trying to avoid the word drone. I said to him, cameras, gadgets. And then he specifically said to me, is there anything like drone? And I said to him, yes, there's a small drone which is allowed anywhere. Anyway, Gary's with me when I'm talking to him like that. And then what happened was he goes to me, can I check your luggage? And I said to him, okay. Well, he was checking my luggage. He took my passport.
But I just want to, kind of record this moment It's just amazing, someone can take your passport and go outside. It's next level. I can't believe that.
He left. I mean, when I say he left. I was just like, okay, I did my clearance, then when the visa and all that process, and then I was like, okay, now I go outside, standing there helpless, thinking, how is this possible for someone to take your passport out of your hands and just go out of the airport, like the building? Gary jumped. It's an interesting story, but I can't say much about it. And then Gary went. This is where you see Gary, he's leaving the airport, and he just, got it. And this is I realized that Gary is that kind of a person who is going to solve problem after problem after problem. And it was a blessing. Gary, thank you, buddy. Now you will see two more people. I'm forgetting the name, but we used to call him Socks, Mr. Socks. So that's Mr. Socks, and the one behind him, as you can see, is Chakma. Both of them are professional hunters. In my line of hunting, or in my life of hunting, from my father hearing stories, and then to myself, and then to the gangs and the fellow hunters, there are people who got the skill of telling stories. Boy, when Mr. Socks is telling a story, which I will share some of them, you'll be surprised. But these are high-end, if that's the right word, up to the core professional organic hunters. And they call it professional hunter. There's a way in Zimbabwe or South Africa, you can't just become a hunter. Like we go to universities, doing like A-levels, O-levels, or then undergraduates, then masters and things. To become a professional hunter, there is a way, it's not just 1 month, 1 year a process. It's like kind of an apprenticeship, and then you qualify, which I will explain in one blog anyway. But this was just to give you an idea that these both are professional hunters, and boy, we were so lucky to see these legends live. These two, as you can see, one is Reward and the next is Sabrina. They both are husband and wife, and they are the owners of Adventure Hunt, where we were invited by them, and we were staying with them. And Reward is the main person of organize every single thing in Zimbabwe for us. So we stayed with them, and the logistics of it, the planning, every single thing in Zimbabwe. He was kind of the guy who was leading the whole show. So just to let you know, Adventure Herds, Sabrina and Reward.
Yeah, and that's Adele. Yeah. So what's her role going to be?
Before we left for Africa, we had this WhatsApp group, and Javed shared a message in there, about that. Oh, Adele, she's going to be joining us as well. And I was like, Adele, and how is she going to hunt with us? I was saying like, oh, come on, Javed, boy, was I wrong? Adele in this hunt. If Adele, she's a camp manager, and she's always a camp manager, so she looks after the entire, if I say, the infrastructure side of the things, like when we leave in the morning, when we come back, to everything being neat, clean, beddings, everything washed, nicely done, the clothes, are given to the laundry people, housekeeping, the food, she looks into the eat halal food, so she makes sure what is being cooked, she checks on it, arranges, facilitate, manage, so many things. Adele, I'm sorry I was wrong. This would have been completely impossible without you. So that's about Adele.
Adele is camp chief. She sorts out everything in camp, makes sure that all the cool food is done.
Okay.
Like we like it done. She makes sure that all the drinks is there when we get back.
Seriously, haven't eaten proper food from the last 2 days. I'm telling you,
I heard he said the food was not that good.
I mean, it's just so busy to you.
She flies the gun everywhere.
Oh yeah, there you go. So that's so she flies the guns as well then, right?
Yeah.
So there it is.
Now, before we go for this hunt, this is something very interesting, because every single time we tried to plan for this hunt, something was going wrong. Every single time, we've been planning for it. Now, this is the interesting bit. So, my, Minds and Javed Bhai, our lovely brother, younger brother Fawad, part of the game, he gave me a call. He goes to me that Professor Sab, they call him Professor Sab, he goes to me that Javed Bhai is unwell, he's been taken to the hospital. I said, why? He was supposed to come 5 days before the hunt. Now he's in the hospital. The next thing I come to know that he's having a major surgery. I pick up the phone, I call his brother, Shahid Iqbal, Shahid Sangalli. And then I called him, and he says to me that, they were on the way to the airport, and, he got into this pain, whatever, kidney. And obviously I can't go much into details. And that was a major surgery. From the airport, they turned around, went to the hospital, and he was hospitalized. And I was just like, oh my days. But in these days in England, there was this MNH or NH1, whatever viruses. Somehow I picked it up while being in England. Now, when I'm calling him in Pakistan, he is admitted in the hospital. I'm having a high-grade fever, 104, 103, shivering every night. I mean, you know, you saw the state of me when my drone was lost. This is I'm referring to. Look at this footage. This is exactly I'm coming, and still recording on this day. I'm still bunged up. I called Javed Bhai and I said to him, Javed Bhai, how are you? Because I was worried, you know, and in my heart I was praying, I hope it's, you know, a week or two delayed, so at least we're in the best of health. Javed goes to me, Professor Saab, remember one thing, we're Pathans and we've given our word. It's a commitment. Only death is going to take this away from us. And I said to him, oh, you know, if you're going, I'm going as well. And 5 days after the surgery, being on, I don't know, you know, 6, 7, 8 antibiotics. On a day, he came from Pakistan through Qatar, and then I'm looking at him, oh God, am I going to carry Gary and Javed together? And guess what? Boy, was I wrong, Javed Bhai? He was as fit as you can dream of. Well, that's how people prove you wrong.
That's Javed. I'm putting Javed Bhai.
Like patches, you know. So I came to Qatar.
What time did you get to Johannesburg?
Guys, this is when we came to our camp, and that is going to be a hunting camp, a base camp for the few days now.
Alright, so you can take whatever. Let's do. Alright.
God, I feel like an African king now.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the
This is the dining.
beautiful,
We sit there, have a few beers.
beautiful, gorgeous. Okay, lovely. I feel home.
What did they want to take it? Go get the keys. Let's show you the other room. So you said because this was prepared for the people coming, but they can take it until. Yeah. So this is yours. Yours.
Guys, this is where I was staying. So normally 2 beds. That's the bed. Another bed. That's obviously the king seat. Bath or like shower, whatever. And behind, as you can see, is a complete wilderness. And that's where I was staying for 7 days or whatever. Let me turn the light off, saving some electric if I could, yeah. And that's how it looks from this side. So as you go along the way, that's the lounge and the dining, and then you have this room. All, as you can see, is completely wild. And then there are following, like I'd say, you know, rooms or like cottages or whatever you call it, this, and it leads to the front. A lovely, beautiful place, to be honest, you know.
Gary just killed it. Flipping hell. Oh my days. Just outside.
He's just outside Adele's room.
Okay, he's still, you know, I could see the, you know, the spasm in his body.
Fucking useless guys, hey?
Oh my lord.
When I came close to the house, he
Oh my god.
What did I tell you? Gary will always help.
Gary, with your trainer. Well done, pal.
Because of the travel, you know, the gun has been compromised somewhere. It's been bumped
Okay.
during the travel.
So from another country, you know, planes,
of course
automobiles.
it's coming from other countries,
Okay.
in a plane or whatever. So it's making a group,
Okay.
but it's down.
Okay. And this was 50 we were shooting, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Wonderful. It's a bit to the right, but it's hard on the heart now.
You happy with that shot, man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Now open. It's set. We're taking the road. Let's go for it.
Trackers, you know, like a bloodhound. I'm only kind of comparing him in a way that this is how, you know, at such a young age, such a finest tracker, you know, I enjoyed the journey with him tracking. That's why I call this vlog, you know, in the hunter's footstep. This is interesting. Javed bhai, this is interesting, isn't it? Power. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the name rightly. King of the kings, you know, the forest scout Power. So this guy, I noticed on day one, he had an AK-47. Now, us being from Pakistan, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Pathans, that's the kind of a weapon we are very used to, because, you know, during the Russian invasion of Afghanistan, you know, the entire area, you know, was weaponized, and based on the culture, you know, a weapon is considered as an ornament. So this was like, you know, when you're raised as a young guy, as a young lad in our part of the world, this is a common thing. Every second person has got the AK-47, you know, it's the way the culture is. So I had when I saw that, you know, you feel comfortable that this is the guy I need to stay close just in case. Power. Down the vlog, on the day of the hunt, I'll tell you why I'm saying this about Mr. Power, King of the Kings. So I'm going to link this story. Very interesting.
What do you think, man? You think we're gonna get the elephant?
Yeah, 100%. We get a nice elephant.
We all were kind of, apart from Gary, you know, we were kind of not in a good health condition to go for this hunt. Then from -4 all the way up to +39 and 40 was again another challenge as well. And then the flight, and then the time, you know, from here 5 hours, 7 hours, then another 3 hours, then another 4 hours. So the last 2 days you haven't slept as well. I'm thinking we'll go and the first day will be kind of introduction and rest. I was wrong, guys. Guess what? There was no such thing as rest. It was just pure hunt. This is when we're back, you know, from a long day, and then the chicken arrived.
The chicken is here.
Obviously, as Muslim, we're only allowed to eat halal, so that's Javed Bhai took a lead again, and you know, halal all the chicken. This is going to go for quite a few days. I missed the slaughtered goat as well, which you will see a bit of a meat. But you know what, chef, thank you very much. Every single thing was halal, and boy, was the food nice as well. And then there come the next episode. Have a bit of a glimpse.
So there's a lot of pressure on a hunter.
There's a lot of pressure on the hunter.
Story. So
There's nothing in life like a fine sunset, and with the best of your friends and brothers, you walk in the valleys and the mountains, remind you of the childhood when you used to hold the finger of your father and walk the valleys in the dark. Nothing like it.
What? Subscribe now. I love you. Bye bye. Take care.